All right. Hey there, Tellor community.
What's
This
up?
is Nick. Today is September 29th, 2020. Exciting day. So yeah, the big news over the past week. So V2 has launched. Finally, yeah, because we came to you guys last Tuesday, and the next day we launched V2. And it went as expected, I guess you would say. The Wednesday was relatively anticlimactic on Wednesday, at least.
It's a delayed.
Yeah, it was a delayed excitement. So we had a few friends in the office, and we kicked off. As you do with the upgrade contract, we just had to run a transaction, and it sort of waited for something to mine, and it switched over, and it worked, and that was exciting. So there were no like giant bugs, right? Whenever that happened, but we are going to do a quick debrief on, if you guys did see, we did have to make a contract upgrade later in the week. So there was a bug that we discovered. It was not a critical bug. Maybe it could have been, but it was not critical as far as what had happened. Basically, whenever somebody would tip, so say you would tip a Tellor token to get the to say, hey, I want the Bitcoin price. Well, then that tip should then go to the miner, whoever mines that block, and it did work. However, the problem was the next block, that one tip also went to the miner. The tips actually weren't resetting properly in the contract, so we had to fix that. Some people did figure out that had happened. So if you were mining the values, you could sort of increase your pay by tipping, and some people figured that out. And for I think 4 hours, the rewards were at
23.
like 23 TRB, so a little bit, which wasn't ginormous. Luckily, if it was in the thousands, we would have had a much bigger issue. So they were minting a few new tokens and sending them to themselves, and which was just a couple of hundred TRB, and we fixed that relatively quickly. We had one line of Solidity code that we updated and merged that in, and everything is working back as expected. The tips are resetting, so that was a stressful Friday, but you guys sort of were troopers about it. We had posted some stuff on it, and everything seems to be better now. So let JG in. Okay. But yeah, as far as updates, for the first thing, we're going to be pushing out a minor update this week. Not small update, actually Tellor, the mining software. It's a non-mandatory upgrade. We're just we reworked the config file, added some things to catch the new challenges better. We saw that there were some issues there, and also added some more tests and things like that. So don't feel like you need to upgrade, but if you want to upgrade and try out the better system, we'll be pushing that one out. Right now, I actually just did a release like 20 minutes ago. It's a pre-release, so if you want to go test it out, look at the code, feel free. But like I said, nothing changes performance-wise or with the database. We actually got a question related to the thing that happened on Friday. Why didn't the edit catch the tipping issue? The audit catch the tipping issue. We don't know. You guys got to go give Certic a hard time.
Yeah,
it's unacceptable. Yeah, no. We had been over the code. We many times. We have a gigantic test suite, and Certic went over it with a whole bunch of their tools and manually with their reporters, and these things just happen. It's always risky. You're in Solidity land and on Ethereum land. So, luckily this wasn't a bug that resulted in the loss of funds, or we didn't have to make any hard decisions about how to fork and, retroactively go and get some funds back. But yeah, no, bugs happen. It's one of those things that the real robustness of a protocol is only there after it's been deployed for a long time. So, it's hopefully, we're getting better. We've written some more tests to sort of cover this and catch it for next time. And yeah, so, we'll just have to be considerably more careful. We were definitely more careful with this upgrade than we were even launching the V1.
sure.
And then whenever we do farther upgrades, we're going to have to be even more careful. So yeah, definitely a learning experience and something that we'll be doing. Okay. Next steps as far as what the developer side of things that we're working on. V2.5, so I'm sure you guys know, that's going to be exciting. So we're going to be doing some things to address the gas issues, but that's going to be coming in about a month after we decentralize Tellor. So this is coming right after we tell you about a time we used the admin key to fix a bug.
Yes.
It's always nerve-wracking because right now, if there's a bug in the system, we can quickly patch it.
So how would that have gone in a post-admin key world?
In a post-admin key world, it would have been very difficult. So in a post-admin key world, we would have to come to you guys and upgrade the contract and push it through. The obviously problem with needing the community to upgrade the contract is that you tell people about the bug and the flaw. So like right now, the bug really wasn't exploited in any way, because I think most people who might attack it really weren't paying attention or didn't know about it.
Good point. But we would have had to share it.
But if you want people to vote on it,
Mm-hmm.
you sort of have to share it. So that it's tough.
Yeah.
But if you can push an update through without telling people about it, then you're also not decentralized. As decentralized as you want to be. So it's almost like decentralization comes at the
cost of mitigate the risk for these things.
Yeah, so the risk. But I think that's almost where decentralization is different. So what you're doing whenever you decentralize things is you're adding technical risk that something's going to break, but you're removing social risk.
Mm-hmm.
You're removing the risk that we're going to upgrade and run away with all of your money. But you are adding in technical risk as far as you have to trust the code.
Yep, and you can imagine like upgrades become slower now, and there's more debate in the community, and that can slow things down if there's not consensus. But that's the way the cookie crumbles with that, and I think we're all up for exchanging one set of problems for a new set.
Yeah, it's always one of those things, and then with more, once we decentralize, so we're sort of admitting we're not going to be upgrading Tellor a whole lot more. We're going to be pushing through Tellor v2.5 because it's a very, very small update that's just going to be helping gas fees, mainly because we want to see you guys vote and know that we have the tools to vote in case we need to. But after that update, hopefully we're not going to be doing it for a year. Hopefully you guys never need to update the contract, and you want things to move slowly in the decentralized world. You want to sort of build around what you have and then think really, really hard and test a whole lot before you make these upgrades. So that's on the radar. So we have, I think there's a v2.5 branch, or I think it's already merged in the dev branch on Tellor Core. So definitely start taking a look at that. Somebody just asked, so no development work after
No, I know. Yeah, it did
yes.
sound like that, but no, we feel like getting to V2 and 2.5, we have enough tech already built in to get us very far in terms of people using the Oracle.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's still V3, that we're working on, but
sure. Yeah. So, there's a lot of other development work, whether it's, different products that can use Tellor or different user tools that we'll be working on the minor.
2.8,
and then we'll just be, so the next things we want to think really long and hard about the next upgrade. So, what are other ways that we can sort of make Tellor significantly better, and how does that look?
And if it's a significant upgrade, it should be really easy to get everybody on board and do, a big upgrade and a big proposal and a vote versus doing, consistent updates all the time. It might be like herding cats.
Yeah. But you want a protocol that votes. So it's
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, other things. So podcasts, I just did a DeFi download podcast. I'm sure some of you watched when I did the thing live yesterday for Ethonline.
Mm-hmm. The workshop was yesterday.
The workshop. And then what did I do this weekend? Reimagine was this weekend.
Reimagine 2020.
That was this weekend. Brenda just recorded one, or she is recording one.
No, I think she did it. It just hasn't aired yet. Actually, I don't know.
Oh, well, she recorded the business podcast.
Oh, that was the Ethereum Entrepreneurs podcast.
Ethereum Entrepreneurs, and then she's doing one with Brad, right?
Yes.
That one. Yeah.
Yeah. They attempted to record it last night, and they had some issues.
So Brenda, you guys will get a lot more of Brenda here soon.
Yes.
Which we all know you guys want. And then Ethonline, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mentioned it briefly, but it's worth mentioning again. Tellor is one of the main sponsors of Ethonline, which is ETH Global's month-long hackathon/summit, and so with that, we are participating in the hackathon. We have a number of bounties. So if you guys are interested, definitely apply. It's not too late to apply to that. We're giving away about $3,000 worth of TRB for a few things. This Friday, it launches October 2nd. And so there'll be we have like a little video that we recorded for the opening ceremony, talking about our involvement, and definitely sign up, join the ETH Hackers Discord channel. That's where this hackathon is going on. That's where the community is. We'll be involved in there. You can reach us there if you are interested in taking us up on any of our prizes. What else? Okay, so part of that as well is we got invited to speak at the summit part. And so I believe October 16th is our penciled in date. So the way it works is every Friday of the month of October is a new summit. And each week will have a different theme. And I think the third week is a DeFi theme. I might be wrong on the dates because they were tentative, but I believe it's October 16th. We'll be doing a presentation on oracles, as we do.
Oracles and DeFi.
Oracles and DeFi. It's content you guys should be all very familiar with, but we're really excited about it because it'll be the biggest audience for us by far. This is the biggest event we've ever sponsored.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. So I gave a workshop on using Tellor yesterday, and there were, whatever. I think there were actually like 50 people watching live.
Yeah.
Which is, huge for one of these events.
Compared to what was the one that we did previously? I mean, it's just apples
and
oranges.
Most of the hackathons you get, live, it'll be like 10 people, and that's good.
Yeah.
But this one there were like 50 people live, and then it was also recorded. So.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest virtual hackathons ever in Ethereum, and we're going to get a ton of exposure from it. And they've been great so far. I mean, the process internally working with them has been the onboarding has been like really awesome. They've treated us very professionally, and there's just a lot of people that are just making sure everything is going smoothly. So we're really excited about that. You'll be getting a ton of updates during the month of October about it. So start following them on Twitter and sign up if you're a developer. Cool. Yeah, that's it for Ethonline.
Okay, and now
we got. I'll be publishing a quarterly update as well tomorrow. If you recall, we switched from monthly updates to quarterly updates last quarter. And so it's been a while since you guys have gotten an update. So it's really exciting to release and publish another article, just sort of going over everything that has happened. And a lot has happened in the last quarter. Our Twitter, just as not that this is all that it's about, but our Twitter following increased by 130% since last quarter update. And same thing with our Telegram. So like our reach has really grown and our community has really grown, and we've done a ton of.
I'm curious to correlate it to the price.
Yeah.
Like it probably tracks like identically.
Yeah, for sure. All the major listings came after that. All the price movements really came after that this quarter. So it's I feel like this quarter was a real big turning point for the team.
It was huge.
Project,
I mean, so. We've really moved. You know, whenever you do the quarterly updates, you can look back, like go look back at the last quarterly update, and then to this one. And it's
we've said that every time, like from quarter 1 to quarter 2, it was just like, wow, so much has changed. It really did. But,
yeah, so it's awesome.
Yeah, like quarter 1 was like, oh, we can survive post seed money.
Yes,
you know, and then
our dev share actually holds some value.
Yes, like we don't have to get jobs. And then Q2 was like, okay, now people are hearing about us, and
yes, it was cool.
Anyway, so, and now we're hiring people, and we're at Ethonline.
Yeah, and speaking of hiring people, Tally, do you want to come over?
Definitely.
So, guys, we are pleased to introduce you to our new intern, Tally.
Hi, I'm Tally. Let me get here.
Yeah, get in.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm Tally. I'm the intern now.
Mm-hmm. All right, now drop and give us 20.
Yeah. So Tally lives right down the road from the office.
Yeah.
Computer science major?
Yeah, computer science major at Frederick Community College.
We just drug him in off the street. He was
and he's he's so right now he's learning a lot about crypto. He's new to the whole crypto scene, so we're going to make sure we bring him up to speed on that. And then we're going to see where we can sort of use him, because he does have development experience. So we're going to be hopefully giving him a lot of good work.
That'll be great.
We'll take community suggestions for him. Actually, this is one thing that I'll be open to listening to you guys about.
And he's also, so he is keto. He is,
yes, he's been eating keto. He's an expert in Beatles trivia.
Trivia. And he has a flip phone. So
yes, that's the coolest part. He's rocking a flip phone. And he's 21.
Yeah.
He fits right in with the team.
Yeah.
So
he's 21 going on 80.
Ilari says no mustache requirement.
No one can top JG's mustache, so we just all gave up. I was going to grow a mustache in November, but I don't know if I can compete.
Spuddy asks, do you play any instruments?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Plays guitar. So there
That's
you go.
A plus.
So Spuddy, we know also plays guitar. So we'll have a nice guitar jam session here.
Yeah.
One of these days. Somebody asks, Tellor $100 this year. Thank you for your excellent question. Yes.
Why not 1,000?
Yeah, limiting us. So anyway, so we'll hop into the questions. Feel free to keep asking them in Zoom. And
okay. First one is, with the 5th mining slot still bearing the brunt of the cost to mine in V2, and given that we cannot control gas prices, what measures have been taken to offset this disparity? Increasing emission of TRB during stalls would be one solution to at least normalize the equation.
Yeah, so that's Tellor V2.5 in a nutshell right there.
Well
so
done.
Tellor V2.5 is, there's two pieces. The first is reducing the staking requirement for miners. We're lowering it from 1,000 to 500. We think it's sort of exorbitant at the moment. We want to bring in more miners and make it cheaper for people to sort of do that. The next piece is actually making the amount of the tip actually just time-based. So we're still going to have 5-minute blocks, and you basically right now it's almost exactly 1. So each miner gets paid 1 TRB every 5 minutes, assuming the network is rolling. But now let's say gas prices are really high, and it's going to cost you like 2 TRB worth of ETH to submit on Ethereum. Well, what happens now is that nobody mines, because now you would be paying 2 TRB worth of Ethereum to get 1 TRB. That doesn't even make any sense. So the whole network stalls out until the gas prices come down, or tips go up really high, which, we would sort of need to wait for. So the way that we're going to solve it is, now that 1 TRB, the mining reward, is actually going to be based on time since the last block. So if it's been 5 minutes, you get 1 TRB. If it's been 10 minutes since the last block, you're going to get 2 TRB. If it's been 15 minutes, you're going to get 3 TRB. And this is actually going to allow us to normalize the inflation. So if you guys have actually noticed, due to the network stalling, due to these gas problems, there's been some days and even like some weeks where very few blocks on TRB are mined. And what this means is the inflation rate of Tellor has been extremely low, like sub 1%. And this is fine, but that wasn't the idea. The idea is to have an inflation rate there to subsidize security on the network and subsidize the values actually getting put on chain. So we're actually going to just be normalizing it over time periods to say now it's going to be based upon the time since the last block, or as he was saying, based upon time, the emission rate is basically going to change.
Yeah.
So, and that also means we can speed it up really fast too. So, you know, if we do get to the point where tips do cover it, it will go back into being, you know, just determined by the difficulty once again.
When admin key burn?
Probably next week sometime. Maybe target like next Wednesday.
This is just a suggested date.
Yes, we have to talk with. We're
No
probably
tweet.
gonna have Brenda. come
Confirmed.
up
Admin
and-
burn next week.
So like for us to do an admin key burn, like we'll all have to sign off on it and
Yeah.
burn it. So we'll have us all in a room and do some secret ceremony, handshake, throw it away.
Any ideas? So post V 2.5. Any ideas for what might be a governance proposal?
I mean, well, like there's V3, but
Yeah.
you know, like I think I'd love to see people thinking hard about better ways to do the governance, whether it's rewarding voting, doing delegates. These are all things that I think would be great additions to the Tellor system.
Yeah. Way to use our rewards resources in new ways.
Yeah.
Will the community members be able to submit proposals for Tellor governance? Definitely.
Yes.
Nick, how's your stablecoin hack going?
I know this is Paul who's asking this question.
I could tell when there are Paul questions. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's going well. We'll let you know.
What will the intern be helping with working on?
Probably down the line, either some
Nice.
Solidity
Just jumps
work
right in there.
or Python data science development, because as Nick says, there's space to, that's where most of my experiences is like the Python data science stack. So it'd be nice to see a possibility of like predicting values, because that's the essence of data science.
Yeah.
Were you thinking that?
No, this works. So we've
Running to the post office for us.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's short term.
So we had him. We're giving him homework now. He's doing the Bitcoin and Ethereum white paper.
Yeah.
You know, sent him some Ether, getting him used to MetaMask, getting him just crypto.
Yep.
Yeah, crypto curious.
For creating a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and somebody also posted
Yeah, we
when
like them to-
office tour. This is the office tour. You can see the back wall and you can also see the side wall
Yeah.
right there. So this is.
Who is it that just
It
came
is,
over?
it is very
Oh.
tiny.
We just had somebody that was here for the first time and had been
Watching the calls.
watching the calls, and he was like, wow, it's a lot smaller in here than it looks on camera. So it's a real small room, and we're looking to move over through this wall a little bit because there's bigger spaces for us, and we're I guess outgrowing it finally. But yeah, it'd be a really short tour.
Yes. So
Maybe we'll move the laptop around at some point, but I lost my spot. Or can you give a retrospective on the V2 launch? We did that, I think.
Yep.
Are you planning to reduce miner stake? Yes, we are. Will there be a dashboard for Tellor governance? I think this would be something that would be important to have.
So theoretically, you can already. So the dispute center has voting, and whenever there's a voting proposal, it actually comes up as a new dispute. So it's like a special kind of dispute, but it gets its own dispute ID.
So we'll have to build a new interface for that, a new UI.
Technically, you can still just go vote and you click support
Yeah.
through the dispute. process. So yeah, technically you can already, but we're going to want to build it prettier. And,
Yep.
you know, a lot of it is like anytime we do these upgrades, like we want you guys voting and being a part of it. And we're going to post, you know, we'll post you guys a Medium article, and we'll give you like the code on GitHub, and we want you to look at it and really debate it and be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and how we do that, whether or not we're going to need some sort of message board or forum to sort of track these proposals and be able to communicate about them, or we do it in Discord or whatever. We'll just play that by ear to see how it develops. But I'm intrigued how that's going to play out. What are the new hires working on? There's also another question specifically about what JG is working on.
Yeah, so on both of them, JG, he's starting on Tellor v2.5 at the moment.
Yeah.
He's an awesome Solidity developer. You know, we can just give him the job and he can do an awesome work on it. So we're really, really happy with that. And then he's starting to help out with some of the minor code as well. And that's really where he's being put to work. And then probably the next piece is there's a lot of minor improvements that we want to do. And then that's kind of the really short term what our developers working on.
Mm-hmm. Another recruitment question, 3 new members coming soon. So the 3 new members are JG. Did we mention Crossy yet?
I don't know if we're going to.
Yeah, I don't know.
We
Well,
can
that's
ignore him. So we have some new hires coming on board.
Yeah,
we're going to
he hasn't been
introduce
onboarded yet, but
as they start. We'll actually introduce them to you guys.
Yeah.
So once they have like official start dates and things like that. So obviously he officially started. So this is, and somebody asked who's the new guy. This is Tally.
Tally, yeah.
Yes.
Brenda's new look.
Brenda's looking off today.
She needs a Snickers bar. Current biz dev focus, same as always. It's been onboarding. We're working with a number of projects. We know we keep on saying this, but you know, these things take time. But onboarding some of these projects, getting them over the line, and getting out into the DeFi world with things like Ethonline. And
Yeah.
have you noticed we're really ramping up in terms of how many podcasts and interviews and things have been going on. And so rinse and repeat, really.
Yeah, and somebody asked the question on the Zoom, can you tell us your views on XBTC? So XBTC is somebody who is planning on using Tellor. They've sort of been they've been vocal about it. You know, we don't usually give names until they're actually live and launched, but hopefully they will be. The idea of XBTC is it's very similar to like an Ampleforth, but instead of targeted to the one price, it's going to be targeted to the BTC dominance. So, you know, like Bitcoin is 57% of all of crypto. So it's going to be like a stable coin that's relative to the Bitcoin dominance rate. So it's a cool idea. And we're going to be supplying them with that Bitcoin dominance rate, which is actually just an awesome thing to be an oracle for, since the Bitcoin dominance rate barely ever changes.
It's perfect for us.
So, you know, like you wanted something that changes really slowly. The Bitcoin dominance rate is it. But, you know, we're here for them.
They seem to be really busy at work. Their chat's really active. And so we're looking forward to it. But
yeah, and they've already done some tipping on the main chain. If you see somebody's requesting Bitcoin dominance, and that's them. So. And then somebody asked, is your job to tally the votes?
Oh,
yeah, I get that one a lot, actually.
Yes.
Right.
Nice. Nick, what would you do if you weren't spending as much time coding?
I mean, I think I am spending a whole lot less time me actually coding, because I'm kind of supervising other people coding or just kind of bringing them up to speed. You know, I'll definitely keep busy. You know, if
pushing in on more and more shows, and
well, yeah, and I mean, like I used to do a lot more Medium articles. I love doing those.
Yeah.
You know, definitely just focusing a lot on doing those and making sure that people understand the security of it. You know, like that's another piece that, you know, I like to do. as far as like explaining the code and writing what it actually
Yeah.
means and what it enables. Would love to definitely do more of that.
I recently was like, I was concerned a little bit that we've written so much content actually in the last year and a half that I was like, Nick, are you running out of ideas? And he was like, yeah, what are you talking about? I could go for forever. And so that's a good sign. We just need to give him more time to do that. And we're almost there. Do you think protocols would ever choose to buy back their tokens?
Well, like there's actually some interesting projects. So like some people have looked on Twitter. So there's the idea of like the book value of some of these projects. So like, you know, like Tezos, I think is one of them. And even, so like Gnosis, the projects that whenever they did their token launch, they raised a whole bunch of ETH and BTC. So you can think like the old school just selling off and, you know, like they'll raise like $100 million worth of ETH. And then theoretically that token shouldn't trade underneath $100 million because the project is holding $100 million worth of ETH. But a lot of times they're trading below book value. And I say it can trade below book value because I mean, if the founders are going to run away with it, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, short of like hoping the U.S. government comes in to save you. But yeah, like the idea is that if they're trading well below book value, what could actually happen is like, let's say if you have $100 million in ETH and your token line trading at $20 million, you could actually buy 100% of your token.
Yep.
And still have $80 million left. So maybe anyway, but
Stuff to think about.
yeah, but I think the other way, so like you wouldn't actually, and the other thing too, like if you're actually doing it, not that method. So like saying like, oh, we'll buy it back to say pump the price or to do something like that. I think what you'd actually just want to do is burn it. So like have some piece in your protocol to burn it. Cause like buying it would entail that you're doing a send transaction and sending people ETH. The easier way would be just to like burn some of the supply because then it actually just feeds in, you know, should theoretically increase the price as well. So I like kind of the burn methodology better.
What does impermanent loss mean?
I don't know.
Did we talk about that or something? What is that?
No, a bunch of people are talking about it on, yeah, we'll pass.
Okay. Do you think any protocols would, that's a repeat.
We have a repeat.
Oh, so wait, this is a change. They changed the question to, do you think any protocols would ever choose to buy back all their tokens? And I think you touched base on that. Anyway, when more Tellor products, spelled MOAR, well, we have no date, but we're, you know,
Working on it.
definitely working on it. This is a mining question. We covered our solutions to the network stalls. What is JG working on? We covered that. Nick, you mentioned in your great Ethonline hackathon video that there's a lending protocol and a rebase protocol using Tellor. Any official announcements soon?
We don't really do official announcements of this kind of thing. You guys are just going to see tips going up.
Yeah.
Mike and I disagree, but yeah, maybe.
Soon, hopefully soon. What's the best way to incentivize a protocol community to pick up some of the workload? Bounties.
Well, no, I mean, I don't really like bounties, to be honest. Like it's a lot of, you got to find people who believe in you. You know,
It's got to be a combination of incentives though. Like it has to be worth their time because they have a day job, assuming, you know, and they'll need to, you know, it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
well, and then I mean, even just like the fact that you want to give away a lot of your tokens early on, whenever you're, you know, like I like having a higher inflation rate. I like making sure that we're passing tokens out to people who want them. You know, theoretically, we can still 1000x in token price from here or wherever. You know, like that's whenever you get people, like whenever whenever people really get rich, like that, why does ETH have so many people who supported it really early?
A lot of people made a lot
A
of money.
whole bunch of people made a whole bunch of money on Ethereum, and they're, you feel indebted to it in some way. Even like some of the best Tellor supporters are people who got in last year and they're still here, and they're like, hey, I made a whole bunch of money on Tellor. How can I help out? That definitely, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
People, other than like the whole monetary aspect thing of it, I think just making sure that it's, you really find people who believe with what you're building.
Yeah.
On a philosophical basis, just because that's going to go a long way. If people don't believe in what you're building, or it's just a cool technical challenge or something like that, then you got to pay them. That's like good developers, like they don't come cheap and they don't have free time. So
yeah, I think there's like a camaraderie and a community aspect of it too, like feeling like you're contributing and then people are noticing and giving you that feedback. You get the feedback loop of being in a group setting. And I think that's going to come when our community grows and we move to this more of a DAO style community. And I would love to foresee that people are just incentivized to contribute because it makes them feel good and their friends are all in this group with us. And there's a little bit of that going too. But like we said, it's going to be a combination of incentives and we'll figure it out. So, and also as we grow, there could be much more things to do. A year ago, it was, we had a narrow set of tasks to sort of execute on. And as we grow, there's going to be a lot more things to do. And so we'll need community help. So anyway, that was the last question. Any more in the chat?
Nope, I think we're good. So
cool.
Thanks everyone for joining. We'll be here next week. So it was a good one. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.